Okay, so I am here to show you how to make a lentil tabbouleh bowl with a really cool cracker that I make, and it's a flaxseed with a little bit of chia seeds. It's gluten-free, keto, whatever you want to call it. It's great though. It's kind of like a Mary's cracker if you've never had one of those before. So I'm going to show you guys how to make the cracker first, because that's going to be the most, well, that's the fun part. So I've got flaxseed meal, some chia seeds, and I'm using za'atar spice. You can use any kind of spice that you want to make it taste like whatever you want. And then I've got some sesame seeds, garlic powder, granulated garlic, some salt, and oatmeal, like oatmeal flour that I ground up. And then I've got a little bit of water. So I'm gonna mix this all together first. Super well, just like that. And then I'm gonna pour in my water. And you're actually gonna pretend that this is a dough. And so you're gonna mix it up. And if you know anything about flaxseed and chia seeds, they start to absorb the liquid as you mix. And so give it a little bit of time. Don't immediately think, oh, that's way too wet, I'm gonna need to add more. Give it a few stirs and kind of mash it around so that you get all those flavors around too. This won't rise, this is a thin cracker. I like them thin. You of course can make them a little bit thicker. But what you want to be able to do is pick this up and form it into a ball. And so you can tell that's obviously going to be too wet. And I purposely did it that way so that you can see what I'm going to do. I have extra, so you can use extra oat flour or you can use extra flaxseed. Really up to you how you want to do this. So I'm going to add just a little bit more in here. And then I'm going to use my hands now, because it should bind together. You're not kneading a dough, but you should be able to get it to bind together. There you go, perfect. So it should all just come up and you should be able to grab it into your hands and form it into whatever shape it is that you want, okay? So that's there. But what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna roll it out. My oven's preheated to about 350. This won't take that long, so about 20, 25 minutes. But grab a parchment sheet. And then I'm gonna lay my dough right in the middle, just like that. I'm gonna squish it just so that I can start it. And grab another piece of parchment paper, put that right on top, keep pushing it down. And then I'm gonna take my rolling pin, and gently roll. You wanna be gentle with this because there's no gluten in here. So nothing's holding it together other than the fact that it's flaxseed and chia seed and it's getting sticky on you. So I'm just gonna keep rolling it out. And again, the thinner it is, the more cracker-like it will be. But it's really up to you how thin or thick you like your crackers. So it'll take some playing around with. And the great thing about this is that you can make them taste like anything you want. All right, so once you're about there, you should just be able to peel off that parchment paper, just like that. Now, I'm gonna take my handy pie pizza cutter, and I'm going to already cut lines into it. And so whatever size crackers you want, you can probably get a good 12 to 16, depending on what size you want. But I'm actually not gonna even take them off of this. I'm going to slide this onto a cookie sheet, or I have a small cookie sheet today. And so I'm gonna fold the edges over, just like that. And then I'm gonna slide it right onto the cookie sheet. And I'm gonna pop this in the oven for about 20 to 25 minutes. And these are the great crackers that come out. So as you can tell, they might not have fully broken up. So what you do is, once they come out of the oven, go ahead and go back into those lines that you've created and you can snap them just like that. And just to let you know how great these are, they snap like a regular cracker and they taste amazing. So that's gonna be what we're gonna eat with our salad. Let's make our salad now. So for our salad, I have about got 1.5 cups of cooked lentils. So you can use whatever lentils you have. If you got some belugas, the black ones, or the French ones, those would be really good with this. We're using regular yellow lentils or green, whatever you want to call them, okay? So that's gonna be our base. We're gonna add all these great ingredients. We're gonna first add a cucumber. So for the cucumber, this is a very large Persian cucumber. You can use an English cucumber, or you can use 2 small Persians. Really up to you. But I'm gonna do a dice with this. So I'm cutting them into quarters. I want a pretty small dice because this is gonna be almost a dip. So you want everything to be about the size of the lentils. Okay, so just kind of visualize what the lentils look like and go in and give this a good chop. Then you've gotta add some tomatoes. And so for the tomatoes, you can do 1 Roma or 2 regular hot house, really up to you again. This is all just about having fun and making a cool salad. So I'm gonna take, this is just a regular tomato. I'm gonna actually cut from the top because I'm gonna keep the seeds in here. And then I'm gonna take off that vine area. Just like that. Okay. And then I'm just gonna do a rough chop. The tomatoes will provide liquid for this dish that you're not gonna get all from like your lemon. So that's why I'm doing this. And again, you wanna dice it about the same size as the cucumber and the lentils. Maybe a little bit bigger. If you don't know anything about tomatoes, they're easier to cut from the inside. I have a bad knife right now that I'm using that I should have sharpened before I did this. Since there's so much knife skills. This is a great dish if you are trying to practice your knife skills to make, since there's so many layers to it. The flavor of the tomato, if you didn't know, comes from that slime in there. So those seeds and that slime is giving us all the flavor from the tomato that we like. So add it in. But if you are gonna take this out to like something that you're afraid will get too soggy, you might wanna leave them out. And then we've got a red onion or shallot, depending on which one you want to use. The shallot's going to be a lot stronger than the red onion is, so up to you what you want. I like shallots, and so I have 1 shallot here. If you use a red onion, maybe use like 1/4 to 1/2 of it, but that's all you're going to do. So for this shallot, I'm going to cut off the end and then peel it. And then I'm going to use the tip of my knife to go in and make cuts all through the top. And then go in once. And we're gonna add that all in as well. All right, now we're gonna do the fun stuff, which is the greens. So I have cilantro and parsley that we're gonna add. We're gonna hold them both together, just like this. And unfortunately for this, I do need a really sharp knife. So grab yourself a knife, a nice sharp one, unlike the one that I was just using, and give your parsley and cilantro a haircut. What that means is the knife should be sharp enough that it should just be able to take off all those leaves for you. So now all you have to do is go in and chop. Some people won't add the cilantro and they'll just use the parsley, completely okay. I did 1 bunch of parsley and 1 bunch of the cilantro. So up to you which way you want to do it. A traditional tabbouleh, though, I will tell you, has significantly more parsley than bulgur wheat. So the way that we're eating it these days in the States sometimes is a little off because traditionally it is heavily cilantro or parsley based, and then just a little bit of that couscous is in there. And if you're interested in making that dish, email me and I can tell you, because you actually don't ever need to boil anything. You don't need to cook anything on the stove. You just need a microwave. All right, so that's a good fine chop. You can do more if you want. Try not to use your food processor for this. You tend to overdo it sometimes when you use your food processor for this. And so that's why I say do it by hand. It's a good knife skill to have, to be able to chop your parsley and cilantro finely. Good salsa practice. And I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna add that all into my bowl. And then I've also got a little bit of mint. So I'm just gonna grab a little bit of few mint sprigs and give that a good chop too. Now we gotta make a sauce for this guy. So all of that's in there. That's all so pretty, healthy, good to go. Now let's give it our sauce. So I'm going to add first a little bit of olive oil, 2 to 3 tablespoons of olive oil, just like that. And then I'm gonna grab a lemon and I'm gonna first zest it. That way I'm not wasting any part of this great lemon. And then I'm gonna give it a good roll. And if you're like me, where this lemon doesn't seem to wanna do much, you can pop it in the microwave for like 10-15 seconds at a time, and it'll really get it going. And then I'm gonna squeeze the fresh lemon juice straight in there. I'm gonna give that one last mix just like that. And there you have your tabbouleh lentil salad with your crackers. So enjoy. See you next time. Bye.